Marco Polo, a Venetian merchant, is one of history's most renowned explorers. His travels, documented in The Travels of Marco Polo, offer a detailed account of the world during the 13th century, particularly the vast and mysterious lands of Asia. Marco Polo was born in 1254 in Venice into a family of wealthy merchants. His father, Niccolo, and his uncle Maffeo had already established trade routes to the east, which would later pave the way for Marco's travels. In 1271, at the age of 17, Marco Polo set off on a journey with his father and uncle to the court of Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler of China. The journey was perilous, spanning thousands of miles and taking several years to complete. The Polo family traveled through the Middle East, crossing the Arabian Desert and the Persian Empire, and navigating the treacherous mountains and plateaus of Central Asia. They passed through significant trading hubs such as Baghdad and Tabriz, where Marco observed the diverse cultures, religions, and economies. This journey exposed him to a myriad of customs and traditions that were vastly different from those of Europe. After 3 years of arduous travel, the Polos finally reached the court of Kublai Khan in Chengdu, also known as Xanadu. Marco Polo quickly gained the favor of the Khan, who was impressed by his knowledge and keen observations. Marco served as a diplomat and emissary for the Khan, traveling to various parts of the Mongol Empire on missions. He documented the grandeur of the Khan's court, the advanced infrastructure, and the administrative efficiency that characterized the Mongol rule. Marco Polo's accounts of China are among the most detailed and fascinating parts of his travels. He described the thriving cities of Beijing, then Khanbalik, Hangzhou, and Suzhou, noting their bustling markets, intricate canal systems, and advanced technologies. Marco was particularly struck by the use of paper money, an innovation that was unheard of in Europe at the time. He also marveled at the Grand Canal, an engineering feat that facilitated trade and communication across vast distances. Marco Polo's observations extended to the social and cultural practices of the Chinese people. He detailed the elaborate customs, the sumptuous cuisine, and the diverse religious practices, including Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. His descriptions of the splendor and sophistication of Chinese civilization challenged the Eurocentric views of his contemporaries, offering a new perspective on the world beyond Europe. Marco Polo's journey did not end in China. He traveled to other parts of Asia, including Burma, Myanmar, India, and Southeast Asia. He documented the rich cultures and natural resources of these regions, providing valuable information about the trade networks and economic systems that connected Asia with the rest of the world. In India, Marco Polo was fascinated by the diversity of the land, from the arid deserts of Rajasthan to the lush tropical forests of the south. He noted the thriving ports of the Malabar coast, which were crucial hubs in the Indian Ocean trade network. His observations included descriptions of exotic spices, precious gemstones, and the complex caste system that structured Indian society. After spending nearly 24 years in Asia, the Polos decided to return to Venice. They embarked on a perilous sea voyage, facing numerous challenges, including shipwrecks and pirate attacks. Despite these hardships, they eventually made their way back to Venice in 1295. Upon their return, the Polos' tales of their adventures were met with skepticism and wonder. Many Europeans found it hard to believe the extraordinary accounts of distant lands and advanced civilizations. The significance of Marco Polo's travels lies not only in the breadth of his journey, but also in the detailed and vivid accounts he provided. His narratives were compiled into a book, The Travels of Marco Polo, which became one of the most important sources of knowledge about Asia for centuries. The book was translated into multiple languages and widely read across Europe, sparking curiosity and inspiring future explorers. Marco Polo's descriptions of the wealth and sophistication of the East challenged the prevailing European notions of the world. His accounts provided a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of global geography, cultures, and economies. The detailed observations of trade practices, technologies, and political systems enriched European knowledge and facilitated the expansion of trade networks. The legacy of Marco Polo extends beyond his immediate impact on European knowledge. His travels inspired future explorers, including Christopher Columbus, who carried a copy of The Travels of Marco Polo during his own voyages. Marco Polo's accounts helped to shape the age of exploration, encouraging European maritime powers to seek new trade routes and expand their empires. Marco Polo's travels also contributed to the cultural exchange between East and West. His detailed descriptions of Asian civilizations introduced Europeans to new ideas, technologies, and goods, fostering a greater appreciation for the diversity and complexity of the world. The interactions and exchanges that followed in the wake of his travels laid the groundwork for a more interconnected global society. Marco Polo's travels stand as a testament to the spirit of exploration and curiosity that drives human progress. His journey across the vast and diverse landscapes of Asia provided a window into a world that was largely unknown to Europe. Through his detailed and vivid accounts, Marco Polo bridged the gap between East and West, enriching the knowledge and understanding of his contemporaries, and leaving a lasting legacy that continues to inspire and inform to this day.